What's up, MetaNerdz? In this video we'll be breaking down the DP20 frigate, one of the most well-known additions to the Corellian Gunship line, produced by Corellian Engineering Corporation, who most famously gave us the YT series ships, which include the Millennium Falcon. This versatile vessel, also categorized as a corvette and capital ship, was valued at 4,800,000 credits, or you could pick it up for 2,400,000 credits when purchased used, making it about half the cost of the Pelta-class frigate, and same thing goes for its size, with the DP measuring 120 meters or 394 feet, and boasting a speed of 75 megalight, while being able to hit a maximum 1,000 kilometers per hour in atmosphere, or 621 miles per hour, making it quicker than the ISD, Venator, and the MC-80 line. Equipped with a Class 2 hyperdrive and a backup Class 16, the DP20 was built for rapid deployment and mobility, putting it alongside most Imperial ships, and really only the Moncal ships and Venator are quicker at this size. Its shielding was rated at 416 SPD, while its hull was rated at 176 RU. A stat I wish we could have had on the MC-80 ships, as they had one of the most unique shielding systems in the galaxy, but at least we get details that ensure us that this stat means that it had robust defenses during all types of battles. For armament, it carried 8 double turbolaser cannons, positioned with 2 facing forward, 3 on the port side and 3 on the starboard side, as well as 6 quad laser cannons, 3 on each side, and 4 concussion missile tubes, loaded with an incredible total of 120 heavy concussion missiles. The frigate was crewed by only 45 personnel, with 46 gunners to operate its weaponry, and only required a minimal crew of 10 to function. It had no passenger capacity, but could carry up to 300 metric tons of cargo, and support its crew with enough consumables for up to 8 months. That insanely low crew size really points to excellent automation, something that's strange that we don't see in more ships, but does point to the popular theory that the Empire was overstaffing their ships in order to tie as many people as possible to the Imperial war machine, because although the ISD is more than 10 times the size of the DP20, its crew is around 100 times that. And even when we look at other ships used by the Rebellion or the Moncal creations, nothing comes close to this minimum crew, being able to function with just 10 people. Even when you make everything else equal between these ships, there is perhaps nothing else in the galaxy like this. Its design had 2 main priorities, speed and firepower. Nearly half of its interior was dedicated to engines, emphasizing its capacity for rapid movement and quick maneuvers. The remaining space was carefully utilized to house deflector shield generators and that wide array of weaponry, ensuring that the ship could hold its own in intense combat scenarios. This strategic allocation of space made the DP20 an efficient and formidable presence in any battle, capable of outpacing threats and delivering powerful strikes with those 120 not just normal but heavy concussion missiles. At the relatively low cost to purchase, the small size, and incredible firepower output with so little crew, it's a real shame we don't see this ship used more often. It was originally designed for the Galactic Republic's fleet, but found a place with many groups over the years. Corellian and Rebel Alliance fleets made extensive use of these ships, as did the New Republic. Some ended up in the hands of independent operators, pirate factions, and even local Imperial forces, and so there were battles that had DP20s on both sides. The Rebel Alliance was first convinced to purchase them after watching pirates use them to hijack an Imperial shipment, which the Imps thought was heavily protected with several Imperial fighters and bombers. One of these frigates was destroyed by the Cortine asteroid belt by Quarg's father and his space rackers, and about a year before the Battle of Yavin, they served in the Rebel fleet led by the flagship Salvation, enduring attacks by bounty hunter Boba Fett and participating in a counter-assault on Kamino. After the Rebel Alliance's first major victory against the Empire, Crimson Jack's pirate crew used them to fend off TIE fighters from a crippled Imperial cruiser, which they were eventually able to claim as their own. And during the Imperial blockade of the Rebel base on Yavin 4, DP-20 frigates joined the larger Rebel ships as part of a fleet led by Han Solo. They navigated an asteroid corridor to defend the supply planet Junction from the Imperial allied House of Tag. And although the attack turned out to be a trap involving Salius Tag's Omega Frost superweapon, Luke Skywalker sabotaged the device, enabling the Rebel frigates and blockade runners to destroy the Tag mining explorer. After evacuating Yavin, many of these frigates were among the Rebel forces dispatched to Orochar to establish a new base. Then after the Battle of Hoth, the frigate Loose Cannon was used by pirates in a raid on the Azamin's family assets. After luring them with the promise of black market Bacta, the Loose Cannon engaged the fire spray fighter Andrasta in the YT-2000 transport Otana. Although it inflicted heavy damage on the Andrasta, the gunship was ultimately destroyed from within. New Republic captains like Aphio and Sarin Virgilio started their careers aboard Corellian gunships, and Virgilio's frigate had seen many battles since Hoth and played a role in recovering the 6 surviving Bothan spies who helped steal the Death Star 2 plans. During the Bakura incident of 4 ABY, 5 Corellian gunships, Ensave, Gorman's Honor, Mastala, Telsor, and Wallerv joined the rebel task force to defend the Imperial-held Bakura from the Sea Ruvi Imperium. The Alliance formed a truce with the local Imperial defenders, who had 6 Corellian gunships of their own, though 4 were lost during the initial invasion. In 5 ABY, the New Republic's Dreadnought, New Hope, and hospital ship Mercy were escorted by a squadron of these Corellian gunships. And you can actually see some of the destroyed DP20 frigates from the Imperial Civil War era, viewed as wreckage from the Millennium Falcon's crew on their mission to Coruscant in 10 ABY. And long into the New Republic era, we still see DP20 frigates at Pinnacle Station, where they were deployed in the Battle of Mon Calamari, fighting alongside the prestigious MC-80 line. One DP20 frigate crew reported the arrival of Emperor Palpatine's flagship before being consumed by a dark side force storm. And after the destruction of Da Sucha 5 by the Imperial Galaxy Gun, at least one DP20 frigate relocated to Despis 8, an ancient spaceport, only to flee again when that location came under threat from the superweapon. This last time we see it is a bit of a poetic ending, as the DP20 is one of the most practical, economic, and deadly efficient ships ever made. Seen decades after it was first introduced, being chased around the galaxy by the latest of the Empire's ridiculous superweapon strategies. So let's thank our partners over at Geeky Grotto, who are having another 10% off sale on their already great low prices. As you can see, I already have a ton of their stuff. It's really high quality builds that are compatible with Legos, and I'm really excited to get to building these. MOC Builds usually give you access to all sorts of builds that you can't get anywhere else, and they all come with free shipping to the United States. Check out the site, it really is fun to see all these amazing designs, from space fighters to pirate ships, real-world models, kawaii tabletop decor and anime, to military builds and all kinds of parts you need, like motors, loose bricks, lights, plates, and roads. Pew pew! I really love my Geeky Grotto builds, all kinds of neat stuff. I'm sure you'll like something. Check them out using the link down below for an additional 10% off. Thanks again to Geeky Grotto. So that's it for its breakdown, and as for behind the scenes facts, it was first brought back into canon in 2016 via the comic Star Wars 23, but was originally introduced in the Rebel Alliance sourcebook in 1990, though it was based on the concept art design of Rebel gunships that were first seen in the 12th issue of Marvel's Star Wars 1978. It was later used in the complete Star Wars encyclopedia under the Corellian Gunship entry. It would be fleshed out in later role-playing game guides, and perhaps best depicted in The Force Unleashed 2. Please hit that like button if you made it this far. It really is the best way to help me out. Let's spread more lore on YouTube. Subscribe to see more, and check out these videos, I'm sure you'll like them. But most important of all, remember, convince the group chat to pull 2.4 million credits, and you too can be the next feared pirate in the galaxy far, far away. And the Force will be with you. Always.